Hey guys, how's it going? Orlisy here with a FIFA 21 formation guide video. It's Champions League night. Liverpool are taking on RB Leipzig. So I thought, why not complete the set? I've already done a Liverpool formation guide. Let's go out and do an RB Leipzig one as well and finish off the set. So I like to do my homework in advance. I see what players usually play in which positions, what formations they like to go to regularly, and they actually do use a formation you don't see very often in FIFA, which is the 3-1-4-2. So I thought, why not stay true to their colours? Let's give this formation a whirl. It's not one I use very often, but let's see how it plays out. Obviously, the manager sees something in real life with this formation. As I'm sure you're probably aware, real life football doesn't match the same as it does in FIFA, but let's see if we can make it work. And they really do play this formation very nicely. Three of probably the best centre-backs in the game in a three-back formation, I'd just like to add, in Upamecano, Konate and Klosterman. Lots of pace, great strength, defensive awareness. These three defenders are perfect for a three-back formation, especially when you've got Lima in that position ahead of them as well, who can drop in terms of like stay back while attacking to support them if needed, if they are playing against an attacking team. Sabitzer and Campbell make great box-to-box midfielders, high on attacking work rates and defensive work rates. Real perfect box-to-box players, really. Angelino and Mukiele, great defensively, and they can offer quite a lot going forward. And then you've got Nkunku playing that centre forward cam role. I do apologise about the pronunciation of some of these names. I know they are not the best. And we've got Hang Hee Chang, who's going to be playing the getting behind, offering us a bit of pace, something a bit different going forward as well. So we've got a dropping bot. We've got like sort of like a false nine, a cam position, some box to box. We've got some good all-round wingers, a real strong back three. Really nice balance to this team. I do have to say, on the bench we've got quite nice options to look to depending on how the game's playing out, if we're losing or winning. Forsberg for a more attacking option. We've got Adams and Haidara as well in a more defensive or more defense-minded, shall I say, mindset going into later stages of the game. And then Hausenberg, who's got that high attacking work rates for a centre-back. I wouldn't play him at centre-back, I have to say. I'll play him at CDM if needed. And then you've got that Hungarian future stars as well, Sobolaskai, I believe it's pronounced, who can also play an attacking role. Pressed after possession loss. I don't use this tactic very often, but I thought new formation, let's try out a new tactic as well. Press after possession loss. They really play this type of defence well. They got so much pace, and you can really box your opponent in that their defensive third and pressure them so much. I really do like the way that they play defence in this game. Long ball offensively, of course, lots of width to ensure that our wingers are staying wide and make sure we have that wide option available to us. Long ball, so those runs are being triggered in behind by Hwang and by Angelino and Mukiele as well going forward. Just 5 for players in the box. We don't want to overcommit, of course. We're playing 2 centre mids instead of 2 CDMs like you might see in the 3-5-2. So we have to be mindful that we may overcommit and leave ourselves with holes in behind, especially with the defensive style that we play. But because our centre-backs are so fast, we really can afford to play a pressing style and not get punished too bad for it, to be honest. And I can't say I actually did get counter-attacked once in the 3 games that we played with this formation in Division 1. But it's a great team. It's really fun to play with. I just have to add as a little disclaimer, they're a 4.5-star team, so you will actually play against some of the 5-star teams in the game. And when you're playing against France and say Barcelona and Liverpool, Man City, it can be difficult in those games. This is a really well-balanced team, very good at doing a lot of things well, but they don't excel going forward. They're much better defensively than they are going forward. They've not got a lethal finisher. They've not got the most creative cam in. They haven't got like a De Bruyne or someone very creative. They've got some box-to-box midfielders. You have to be really respectful to the players you have available to you and understand your capabilities in this side. You're going to be looking to box your opponent in and use your fast centre-backs as your main advantage, making sure that you know that it'll be difficult for them to counter-attack you because you've got the pace at the back in Lima, Upamecano and Klosterman, and you can really box them in. You've got those two box-to-box midfielders as well that are going to be up and down the pitch, causing headaches for your opponent in the middle of the park if they don't track you. You've got Angelino and Mukiele, who are great defensively and offer threat going forward, and then you've got Nkunku, who's playing that false 9 position, meaning that Sabitza's running on behind him, and you've also got Hwang running in behind the defence as well. So lots of options that your opponent has to deal with, but just be mindful when you're playing against some of these 5-star teams, it can be difficult for you to do that particular type of tactic. So you have to have a few tools in your arsenal, shall I say, to make sure that you can really get the most out of this team, because they do lots of things well, but they don't excel in anything very well. And I mean that in an attacking sense, not so much in a defensive sense, if you mean. And whilst I'm touching on defensively, they've not got the best fullbacks. So you really are not maximising your potential as a strength unless you play 3 at the back and then push them into the midfield. So yeah, that is what it is. So take it as it may be. So let's talk about the team in terms of its instructions. Hwang getting in behind, Nkunku dropping in the midfield, supporting them out as well, especially when Lima stays back. It means sure that there's not too much of a disconnect between the midfield and the attack. You've also got Angelino and Mukiele getting up and down, same as Sabitzer and Campbell. It's almost like that midfield 4 are going to move in cohesion, really. There's never going to be a disjoint where your right mid and left mid are not in the same sort of line, if that makes sense, as the same as the Sabitzer and Campbell. So you've always got options across the midfield to rotate. It's a really interesting setup here. Defensively, we're going to be looking along the lines of a 5-3-2, especially when Nkunku drops in as well. We're almost going to be looking like a 5-4-1. So Lima's going to be dropping in a bit closer to Kanate with that stay back while attacking and high defensive work rate, and then those box-to-box midfielders will just sit in front of them, creating a bit of a shield. And then going forward, of course, the 3-1-4-2 moves up. Like I said, that midfield line will move up simultaneously. You'll never get a disconnect where you look like a 5-1-2-2 and then your wingers are trying to get up. It really does move smoothly, as I did experience during the games. And then, of course, you're going to be looking like a 3-5-2, dependent on whether or not Sabitzer gets forward, and then Campbell sits with Lima, and then your wingers, of course, getting forward. So it really does rotate nicely. It's really difficult for your opponent to deal with. I got to have to say, it's probably the best 4.5-star team in the game. And then especially when you employ your tactic on your opponent and force him into dealing with your strengths and really maximising your whole strengths across the pitch, it really is difficult to deal with. Anyway, that's the formation, tactics and instructions. Let's jump into some gameplay that I can walk you through, where we scored some brilliant goals and beat some 5-star teams as well in Division 1. Here we're up against Atlanta. We've got Sabitzer moving forward, and there you go, there's Angelino making his role. And as you can see, as I just touched on, the midfield really moves simultaneously, so there's always an option for you wide, there's always an option in the middle as well. Here Angelino's moved his way forward, and with that long ball tactic, he ensures that those runs are being made automatically for you, as you can see there with Angelino, as you can see with Nkunku, and then a great option in the midfield in terms of a run from Hwang there. Starting out from the back, Lima's your connection between your defence and your midfield. We've got some 1-2s going, that run being made automatically in behind with a long ball tactic. If you haven't tried long ball, I highly recommend it. Brilliant for formations that have wingers, or if you're playing the get in behind tactic as well. This time Sabitzer making his way forward, running on behind Nkunku, who's dropped into that centre forward false 9 position as well. And then we've got another run forward with Sabitzer. He's really your attacking threat out of the two. As you can see, I put get forward on him in terms of tactics and instructions. But we can also play possession play. We can break our opponent down when they're sitting deep in their box and stop them from getting out as well. But I hope you enjoyed the formation guide. If there's anything else you'd like to see in the future, be sure to drop a comment down below. But apart from that, guys, have a great evening, enjoy the football, and I will see you soon.